Have you ever seen a dead body? That's what 14-year-old Carly Gregg asked her friend right after she shot and killed her own mother inside their Mississippi home. No shaking hands, no tears. Just a calm voice telling her friend there was an emergency, urging them to come over fast.
Hello? I need medical here.
When the friend arrived, Carly didn't hide anything. She simply pointed toward the room and said, "My mom is in there." It's a moment that doesn't feel real. A teenager, a gun, a mother lying silent, and a story darker than anyone expected. This is where the movie begins. Watch closely. The courtroom fell silent as the recording played. "Your daughter tried to shoot you?" "Yeah, she shot me. She tried to kill me." Heath Smylie's voice shook, weak, bleeding, terrified. Moments earlier, he had stumbled out of his home fighting to stay alive. Inside, his wife was already dead, shot by her own 14-year-old daughter, Carly Gregg, and Heath had only survived by inches.
Hey, hey, come outside for me. Hey, come here. Hey, where's your wife at, buddy? Where's your wife at?
She's dead on the floor in that room.
As the jury listened, everything changed. Whatever excuses, whatever stories Carly had tried to build, they collapsed right there. The cold truth of what happened inside that house was now impossible to run from. But before we talk about why she did that, let's learn who Carly Gregg really was. Before everything fell apart, Carly Gregg seemed like a model teenager. She was an honor student, bright, polite, funny, and praised by teachers. Friends enjoyed her company. She shared a close yet complicated bond with her mother, Ashley Nicole Smylie, a 40-year-old mathematics teacher at Northwest Rankin High School. Ashley had 2 daughters, one of whom died young. Carly attended the same high school where her mother worked. Her stepfather, Heath Smylie, worked as a physical therapist just 5 minutes from their Brandon, Mississippi home. On the surface, the family seemed normal, but Carly's life had cracks no one fully understood. By late 2023, Ashley and Heath realized Carly was struggling and sought professional help. Carly began therapy and was prescribed Zoloft in January 2024. When that proved ineffective, doctors switched her to Lexapro in March. At times, the medications worsened her mood swings or left her feeling numb. She displayed self-harm scars on her thighs, had rapid mood shifts from calm to anger, and sometimes heard voices in her head. Attempts had been made to ease her symptoms through equine-assisted therapy, but the underlying issues persisted. Carly also began experimenting with substances. Vape boxes were found in her room, and she later tested positive for marijuana. Heath blamed her biological father, Kevin Gregg, for exposing Carly to drugs early, saying he forced or modeled substance use. Tensions at home were high. Arguments over secret phones, hidden cannabis, and rebellious behavior escalated, especially as Carly craved her mother's approval. Previous conflicts included Ashley confiscating her mobile phone as punishment. Carly had brushes with trouble at. School too, bringing a Swiss Army knife, copying a teacher's answers, and being sent to an alternative school. Yet she remained an overachieving student, scoring 30 on the ACT at age 13. During the mid-afternoon of 19th March 2024, Ashley Smylie was informed by a student and friend of Carly's that a large amount of cannabis was concealed in Carly's bedroom. Along with cannabis, e-cigarettes, and burner phones were discovered. Carly was on medication at the time, which likely contributed to dissociation, auditory hallucinations, and mood swings. The discovery of her secrets by her mother intensified Carly's mental health crisis. Despite outward success, high grades, social charm, and academic accolades, Carly's inner world was unraveling. The combination of medications, mood swings, dissociation, pressure from hiding her actions, and conflicts with Ashley created a volatile emotional state. Every warning sign was present: substance use, secretive behavior, depression, and therapy notes indicating mental distress. No one could have fully predicted how these factors would culminate in the explosive tragedy that shocked her family, school, and community. The morning of March 19, 2024, started like a regular day. Carly went to school, 9th grade, with her mother. Heath left for work, thinking everything was normal. Carly was grumpy and distracted. She couldn't focus in class. She was quiet, sometimes irritable, sometimes distant. She felt anxious, lost in her thoughts, struggling with the voices in her head. The medications she was on, first Zoloft, then Lexapro, made her feel numb, confused, and sometimes worse. No one could have guessed what she had planned. By mid-afternoon, a friend of Carly's discovered her secret stash of cannabis, burner phones, vape pens. The friend panicked and told Carly's mother. Ashley Smylie went to check her daughter's room. That small act, just moments before the end, triggered a storm nobody could stop. Carly felt trapped. Everything she had hidden, all the pressure, the anger, the voices, came rushing in. After school, Carly and her mother returned home. Text messages from Ashley to Heath showed plans to go shopping. But inside the house, Carly had already made a choice. The cameras in the garage and dining area would later capture every move. At around 4 p.m., she walked into her parents' bedroom and pulled out a .357 Magnum handgun that belonged to her mother. She hid it behind her back, keeping it out of view of the cameras. Her heart raced, but her face stayed calm. She knew what she wanted to do. Around 4 p.m., Carly walked into her parents' bedroom and took a .357 Magnum hidden under the mattress. She moved carefully, hiding the gun behind her back so the cameras wouldn't see. She confronted her mother. 3 gunshots rang out. Ashley Smylie screamed and fell to the floor. The bullets struck her skull, but death was not instant. Carly did not panic. She moved the gun behind her back, walked to the kitchen, and acted almost as if nothing had happened. For more than 10 minutes, Carly did not call 911, did not try to help her mother, and did not leave the house. The cameras captured every step. Carly holding the gun behind her back, unlocking Ashley's phone, typing a text to Heath that read, "When will you be home, honey?" Pretending to be her mother, FaceTiming friends, telling one friend, "I put 3 in my mom. I've got 3 more for my stepdad," and even inviting that friend over. When the friend arrived, Carly asked, "Do dead bodies make you squeamish?" And then showed her mother's body, repositioning the corpse by folding Ashley's hands on her stomach and covering her face with a red towel, all while humming in the kitchen. Every action was deliberate. Carly's movements, from taking the gun to sending texts, were calculated. Psychiatrists later testified that this was the result of a mind in crisis. Ashley had discovered Carly's secrets: burner phones, vape pens, and hidden cannabis. Carly's mental health, including hearing voices, dissociation, and extreme mood swings, combined with the effects of her medications, created a perfect storm. Her journals revealed frightening thoughts. There is no God. It's okay to be evil. You don't need family. Experts agreed these were signs of a mental breakdown, not pure hatred. Carly's relationship with her mother had always been close yet complicated. She craved Ashley's approval, but when her secrets were exposed, her world spiraled out of control. The events captured on camera became a devastating record of that collapse, showing the deadly combination of fear, confusion, and crisis that led to tragedy. At 5:03 p.m., Heath Smylie arrived home, less than an hour after Carly's text. The moment he opened the front door, Carly fired several bullets at him. One shot hit his shoulder, less than 6 inches from his face. Heath reacted fast. He grabbed the gun, twisting it away from Carly, stopping her from firing more. Carly screamed. The sound of her own voice filled the house, terrifying and frantic, almost human, but also wild, unhinged. She didn't try to escape yet. She struggled with Heath for control of the gun. When Heath finally disarmed her, Carly ran. The CCTV captured her sprinting through the garage and out the back door. She wasn't alone. The friend she had invited followed her, confused, terrified, and carrying the weight of the scene they had just witnessed. Carly disappeared into the street, the weapon still in her hand until she emptied the bullets, and the chaos she created left a scar on everyone who saw it. After Carly ran from the house, the world seemed to tilt. Heath Smylie, still shaking from the bullet grazing his shoulder, called 911. His voice trembled, telling the dispatcher that his wife had been shot, that bullets had been fired, and that his stepdaughter had fled the scene. Seconds stretched into eternities while he paced the blood-stained floors. The dogs barked and circled the empty rooms, sensing the chaos, the horror. Officers arrived quickly. They searched the home and found Ashley Smylie. She was dead, her body bearing the fatal injuries from the .357 Magnum Carly had taken from under the mattress. The 3 gunshot wounds to her head told a story that no one wanted to believe. Psychiatrists later testified that Carly had been struggling deeply. Dr. Andrew Clark described her as hearing voices, experiencing dissociation, and having severe mood swings. The medications she took made her symptoms worse at times. She felt lost in her own mind, disconnected from reality. She didn't plan murder in a normal sense. For her, discovering her mother had seen her secrets, drugs, burner phones, hidden habits, was a crisis that her mind couldn't process. Her journal revealed frightening thoughts. There is no God. It's okay to be evil. You don't need family. Experts said these were alarming, but also a sign of a mental health breakdown, not pure hatred. Her relationship with her mother was close, yet complicated. Carly cared deeply about her mother's approval, but the moment Ashley discovered her secrets, Carly's mental state erupted. The voices, the dissociation, the medication, and the stress collided. It became a perfect storm. The moment was catastrophic. Carly didn't wait long. Police located her nearby, sitting in a field, disoriented and cold from the early spring air. They arrested her without incident. She didn't fight. Her face was pale, her eyes wide, like she was only just realizing what had happened. Investigators began examining the house for evidence. Heath, unaware of the friend who had been at the house following Carly, handed over CCTV cameras from the garage to the police. But the officers warned him he could be charged with tampering. He hired a lawyer and stopped speaking freely to investigators. For a few tense days, his driver's license was temporarily confiscated while the investigation continued. Then came the discovery of the missing camera. One camera, which had been recording the day of the murder, was nowhere to be found. After a frantic search, it was located inside the family refrigerator. Heath gave consent for investigators to examine it, though the cold may have damaged the footage. Nothing about that day was ordinary. Every detail was strange, terrifying, and heavy with questions. The courtroom was packed, buzzing with reporters, lawyers, and the families. The case, State of Mississippi versus Carly Madison Gregg, began on September 16, 2024. Opening statements set the tone. Recordings of Heath calling 911 played, echoing the panic and disbelief of the day. The jury listened, rapt. It was a story nobody could imagine, a tragedy almost too big to process. Heath took the stand on day 2. He recounted March 19, 2024, in precise detail.
What's her name?
Carly Gregg.
Carly Gregg? Does she still have a gun on her?
I took it from her. She ran.
You took it from her and she ran?
Yes, sir. She was screaming something at me I couldn't understand. I locked the door. She's outside. I don't know what's going on.
How old is she?
14.
Heath explained the morning, how it had started normally. Ashley made tea, Carly got ready for school, and they left for Northwest Rankin High School, where Ashley taught math and Carly attended 9th grade. Heath left moments later for his work as a physical therapist, only 5 minutes from home. Everything seemed ordinary, calm, but that afternoon, everything changed. At 3:54 p.m., Ashley and Carly returned home. Text messages from Ashley's phone to Heath mentioned plans to go grocery shopping, but those plans didn't happen. At 4:14 p.m., a text arrived saying, "Are you almost home, honey?" The message seemed normal enough, but Heath noticed something slightly off. That was Carly, not his wife, sending the text. The trap was set. The trial itself was intense, emotionally charged, and full of dramatic testimony. Heath recounted the day in painstaking detail. He described opening the kitchen door, seeing the gun flash in Carly's face, feeling the bullets graze him, and twisting the gun away. She was screaming like she had seen a demon, he told the court. He emphasized that Carly did not recognize him, that she was terrified and unhinged, not acting with anger toward him. CCTV footage played, showing Carly fleeing the garage, running into the street with her friend following.
Who was that screaming that we heard on the video?
It was Carly screaming, and you heard me holler, "What's the matter?"
And what about seeing Carly made you ask her what was wrong?
I could immediately tell that something was bad wrong with Carly. Just the screaming, her eyes were just huge. She looked like she was terrified.
Have you ever heard Carly scream like that before?
No.
Have you ever seen Carly look as terrified as she did on March 19th before?
No.
Carly's psychiatric history was central. Dr. Andrew Clark, a child psychiatrist, testified she had severe mood swings, dissociation, and hallucinations. He described her medications, noting that Lexapro may have worsened her symptoms temporarily. Carly's journals revealed frightening thoughts, some dramatic, others chilling. Entries included statements like, "I think I had a psychotic break earlier," and "I only do then speak to voices in my head." Experts said these were evidence of mental health struggles, not premeditated hatred. The state's rebuttal witnesses contradicted some of the defense's claims. Psychiatric nurse Olivia Lieber, counselor Rebecca Kirk, and forensic specialists Dr. Jason Pickett and Dr. Amanda Gugliano testified that Carly denied hearing voices, had normal responses during sessions, and that the medications were not responsible for the violent actions. Dr. Pickett described Carly's journals as theatrical and concerning, but concluded that she understood the nature and wrongfulness of her actions. Investigators meticulously examined the house and footage. The garage CCTV showed the sequence of Carly's escape and struggle with Heath. The fridge camera raised eyebrows. Its discovery inside the refrigerator was odd, but it contained footage potentially relevant to the case. Text messages from Carly to her friend, journal entries, conversations with her family, and records of medication use were all evaluated. Escitalopram and other prescribed medications were ruled out as causes for the shooting. The presence of guns in the house, combined with the CCTV evidence, texts, and journals, built a detailed picture of what happened that day. Every detail. The running to the garage, the firing at Heath, the screams, the friend witnessing the aftermath, was scrutinized in court. On the 20th of September 2024, after a week-long trial and 2 hours of deliberation, the Rankin County jury found 15-year-old Carly Gregg guilty of first-degree murder for the death of her mother, Ashley Smylie, attempted murder of her stepfather, Heath Smylie, and tampering with evidence. After an additional hour of jury discussion, she was sentenced to life in prison for the murder and attempted murder, with a 10-year sentence for tampering to run consecutively. Carly had been offered a plea deal that would have resulted in a single 40-year sentence for the murder charge, with the other 2 charges dropped, but she declined, despite Judge Dewey Arthur explaining the consequences. Immediately after the verdict, Carly's defense team argued that the trial had been rushed and that the sentencing violated Mississippi law. They highlighted that the state does not allow life without parole for juveniles convicted of first-degree murder, only for capital murder, and argued that Carly had not been given a Miller hearing to determine parole eligibility. Her attorneys also claimed that the case had been heavily influenced by local and national media coverage, potentially prejudicing decisions in court. Gregg's new legal counsel labeled the trial unjust and filed an appeal on the 26th of September 2024, requesting a review of the verdict. Assistant District Attorney Catherine W. Newman responded on 7th of October 2024, but it remained unclear when the Mississippi Supreme Court would hear the appeal, with estimates suggesting a possible 18-month wait. Following the appeal, Gregg received new counsel. Attorney James Murphy committed to examining the case thoroughly and pursuing every legal avenue to secure relief while she remained imprisoned. On July 30th, 2025, Murphy requested a 30-day extension to prepare the appeal brief, citing misconduct from her previous attorney. The court approved the extension, setting the new deadline for 29th August 2025. Despite being incarcerated at the Youthful Offender Unit of the Central Mississippi Correctional Facility in Rankin County, Carly Gregg continues daily communication with her stepfather, Heath, through phone and video calls. The court found her guilty on all 3 counts: first-degree murder, attempted murder, and tampering with evidence. She was ultimately sentenced to life imprisonment without parole, with the sentences for attempted murder and evidence tampering running concurrently, ensuring she remains behind bars for life. That's the shocking story of Carly Gregg, from a bright teenager to a tragic crime that shook her family and community. What do you think drove her actions? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like if you found this story compelling, and subscribe for more real-life true crime stories and updates on cases like this.